Hey, we're almost live. We're live. We're live now. Hey, good morning. This is the 5am Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And I hope you're doing well today. It's about 6:33 a.m. and this is our 407th episode. Anyway, how you doing this morning? I got Bubbles over here hanging out, and I am Greg Master, Scrum Master and Agile Coach, and we talk about Scrum and Agile in a practical and tactical way so you can bring value to your customer and hopefully get home at a decent hour and have some fun. I don't know where we're going. We're all stuck home now in Philadelphia. There's no home. There's no work. You're still working forever. You can go there. I got a cat going crazy right now. And anyway, I hope your Tuesday's, I guess it's Wednesday. Is what today? Wednesday, Bubbles? Today's Wednesday. So we're halfway through the week. Make sure today is Wednesday. We'll talk a little bit about backlog. And I had just got this for the train museums, if you follow the show. And I was just thinking about this morning because I do some safe work. And I was just picturing in my mind, what does this look like? It's a lot of old trains. This is a 1956 annual report for the Pennsylvania Railroad. Look at all those trains in the yard. Look at all these trains in the yard. Just ginormous amounts of trains, right? Does your backlog look like that? I'm just curious. Can you imagine? We always talk about work and coordinating stuff. If you're doing a release train or you have an agile release train in art and safe, and you have to coordinate all this stuff, just think of all this as different pieces of code, different teams. Each track is maybe a different team. How are you going to get all that stuff out of the yard? How are you going to get it all coordinated? And I think I got it because the picture was cool. Paid a little extra money for it, but I just think it's neat. I am going to scan every page and share every page on our museum website, just because we're here to share information and things like that. So backlogs, right? Everybody asked me. So when looking at those pictures, and you look at your own backlogs, because they get huge sometimes. And this is going to do something. I might be doing something special Thanksgiving weekend about backlogs. We'll see. I'm still debating. It's a secret. What is your backlog just a mess? Is it ready to go, or is it stopped and back and jammed up because you have so much stuff you don't know where to go to and what to start next? That's what happens when you let it get out of control and you don't maintain it. So it's really important to maintain the backlog and groom it and move some stuff out as you go and figure out what you want to do next. And then we have backlog on a story. Okay, I don't know what that is. My favorite thing is I like to use epics or features, depending on who you use it and what you call it and definition, with the larger stories to help me move my backlog along. Where I have the larger epics, I try to take the whole epic and get that into work, right? The other thing is I look at how old stuff is. Some days you just need to have, I think I may have talked about this a long time. A lot of times when I would Scrum Master with my product owner, I work alongside them and just set up times once a week for like a half hour, something short. And we just go look at some of the old junk in the backlog. And because a lot of times they say, oh, they'll do it, but then they don't do it, right? So you just set up a time. This is what a facilitator does. This is what a Scrum Master does. So I set up a time, meet with them, and we just sit there and kind of go through the backlog, and I help organize it maybe if they're not as skillful in using the system, whatever system they have. And then we just start looking like old stuff. Do we need this? Is this valuable? Can we archive it? Can we delete it? What can we do with it? And get it out of it so it doesn't look like, like this. I mean, I look at this stuff here, which looks like some of it's wood, some of it's scrap metal. How long was that sitting there? I don't think they put the scrap metal that was in the front of their picture when they took it. I think they probably told, move those scrap metal trains out of the way so it looks better. So the idea being, as a Scrum Master, I'd work with my product owner and clean that backlog out and get things out of there. The other thing I like to do is, and I kind of like this in scale, is the max I'd go is I would like set up maybe 5 buckets. Usually I use like 3 or 4, but 5 to 6 buckets for and art and safe. It's your PI, right? And those are my sprints. And then I would take features and put them into those sprints or features worth of work, and anything underneath that feature, I'd start applying it just so it has a place outside of this ginormous bucket of stories at the end that need to be looked at and addressed. But you need to do it every week. You need to look at it every week, or otherwise it gets all messed up. And just updating stuff and removing stuff. But then one of the big other things, problem with that is a lot of product owners don't update the status on the features either. Like, that's another thing. I build dashboards and things just for my product owner and BAs so they can see how features in their meeting stories are progressing through their life cycle too, because they have a life cycle too. They start as to do and process and review, completed, whatever, deployed, whatever ones you have. And I set that up so they can see that movement, right? And it's important to keep those updated so that, you know, as all the work underneath. I know in Rally, as you update all the stories and they move them along, it actually updates the higher parent in the system. I don't think Jira does it that well. But you can buy software to do it, to put it on your system if you really wanted to. I think Microsoft's Azure product, that too, you can buy software to do triggers and things like that. But you need to maintain your backlog, because if it doesn't get maintained, it starts looking like this, and you don't know whether you're coming or going or stuck or moving or ready to go. And you have to make sure your backlog doesn't start end up looking like that. And I know we talk about the complex. I just shared a story about and LinkedIn guy posted something about the way that we used to code. It was just like HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and you make a website. And now it's like 80 million different calls. It got a lot of very complicated. So I like simple, you know. So if your backlog's getting huge and you like breaking down the stories into real small pieces, which is great, you start need to manage by feature and not manage by story, right? You grab the whole feature and bring it in, and it brings all its adjoining stories to go along with it, and that's how you manage your backlog. So that's all I wanted to share today about backlog. Just watch your backlogs, make sure they don't get too crazy busy. And I am debating, if I get permission from the wife, to do something this Thanksgiving weekend, since I've got a couple of days off, and do something different and some wacky, crazy thing related to Scrum and Agile and product owner backlog. We'll see. I have it in my mind. I'm not letting anybody know about it just yet, because it's going to be different and it's going to be kind of crazy. Anyway, hey, you have a great day. Give us a thumbs up if you like the show, and good luck in your backlogs. Clean them up. Don't let them ring the little bell if you want to hear when we post up and go live and stuff like that. Don't let your backlogs get all messed up and jargled. And if you haven't been in a while, sit down with your product owner and say, hey, let's just sit down for half hour, look at some of these backlog items and clean them out. All right, take care and have an awesome day. Happy scrumming. See you later. See you tomorrow. Take care.